So hey everyone, welcome to a new Nintendo Indirect video, and I got some positive feedback on the first one, so I'm coming back for the product review of the new 3DS I unboxed in the first video. Now, I've had it for about a week now, so I've experienced the majority of the growing pains, and I have a firm idea of what I like and what I don't like about the system. Now, first off, I'd put this system at about a B, like 80 to 82%, I'd say, just because it's good and it delivers what Nintendo said it would deliver, but it falls short in a couple of ways that just bug me still. Now, like I said, it comes through in every way Nintendo said it was going to come through. Like, the download speeds are incredible. I had to re-download Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate because I did a system transfer, and that's 22,000 blocks. It did it in 45 minutes, which is at least twice the time it would take me on my previous 3DS. And it's much more visually impressive. It's definitely more powerful. The boot times are much faster. I haven't really experienced much use for the amiibo function, aside from Super Smash Bros., but, I mean, there aren't too many amiibo-compatible games on the 3DS yet. And, yeah, there are a couple things that just don't really fit. They don't really have a use at the moment, but they are going to have a use later. Like the extra shoulder buttons. I don't have much of a use for that right now because I don't have anything that would necessitate those. I like the extra analog stick because it gives me better camera control in Monster Hunter, but I don't really need the extra shoulder buttons yet. But I like that they're there, and I appreciate that now they're going to be able to involve those in more games. Now, as good a system as this is, there are some issues. There are some drawbacks. Biggest one for me so far has been the stylus on the bottom. It doesn't flow right when you're using it. It doesn't flow right. You can't just go, whoop, whoop, there we go. It breaks the flow just enough to be irritating. And the other one, which is a really minor issue, these are really minor issues. They just sort of stuck with me a bit. The other one's also pretty minor, the auto brightness feature. Now, I appreciate that in low light conditions it saves me battery because it decreases the brightness of my screen, and in high light conditions it increases the brightness of my screen so I can see it better. But really, it's a bit too sensitive for how it works, because it really just goes between the different brightness settings that are available on your 3DS and automatically adjusts them based on what it assumes are the light conditions. And how it assumes those conditions just doesn't really work right. Like, I'm wearing a black shirt right now. If I had my 3DS a bit closer to my shirt, it would register as lower light conditions, so it would decrease the brightness of the screen, and then if I shift it just slightly, it'll say, oh, higher light conditions, let's bump up the screen another notch. You can turn it off, and I have turned it off at this point. It's just a little irritating. Really, those are the only issues there are with it. It just has a few growing pains, that's it. Another thing I want to say, the face tracking 3D, it's kind of neither here nor there. It works how they said to a certain range. Like, I'm looking at the camera head-on right now. So if I were to move over to here, or over to here, I could still move there and get the 3D function of my 3DS. But if I were to move here, I couldn't. Or here. It's just a very limited range, and it still just doesn't work right. That said, they did make it a little bit better, so now I don't have as much of an aversion to using 3D, because I really don't use the 3D that often. But they made it a little bit easier to use without getting a headache, which you know, they should really aim for it to not give you a headache at all. But there's not much you can do about it with 3D technology. Some people just can't really work with it right, and I understand that I'm not really one of those people that can work with it properly. But yeah, overall, I really like the system, and I like where Nintendo's going with it. Something I am kind of interested in is where they're going to go next, though. Are they going to do a new system in a couple years, or are they going to release a copy of the new 2DS, which would just be the 2DS, but with the upgrades present in the new 3DS, which would honestly be a really interesting thing, because if they were to do that, they could sell it at a lower price than... Really, it would be a lower price than a regular 3DS XL, so they could get more people buying their tech, and it would be open to the market of 7 and under. I feel like they might do that, and they're more likely to do that than to bring the regular new 3DS to the US, but I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about the last couple days. But yeah, as always, let me know what you think of this video, and if you'd like to see future videos. And I'm going to be doing my review of Monster Hunter 4, the full game, in the next couple days. That should be up by Wednesday. So, thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my full blog if you like my videos.